we've possibly made somebody's dream come true. But
Goodness. We were just about to start. Hello.
Hello, Sam.
You all right?
Yeah, you all right?
Very well. Oh, sorry. Thank you.
Cheers.
We were just about to start recording. Well, we are recording. And just at that moment, a parcel arrived. My goodness. Is there anything interesting, Ellie?
It's a present for someone.
So you can't say what it is.
So I can't say what it is.
Because they may be a listener.
They might be.
Is this how you get listeners to feedback and to contribute? You're now bribing listeners with gifts to join the listener Facebook group.
Well, you know what? It is working because I think we've got 23 now.
Oh, my goodness. So we went from 8... massive leap to 20. We thought we can't keep that kind of exponential growth up, and we were right. We're now at 23 in the Facebook group. But apparently it's been having quite a bit of comments going on. People have been chatting amongst each other. It almost feels like there's not necessarily as much need for us now. We're kind of just the arbiter of conversation. 24. You see, we're going up.
Is that another request? Another request.
Another one. They're just coming in right now. It's as if they knew.
So that means it's 25 members, including 25. Me. So 24 normal people and me.
Okay.
But an offhand comment the other day has possibly led to a listener's dream coming true. Coming true. Oh my God! It's because you just started saying Tosh, and I
just thought we needed to tell people it's Tosh time in case they weren't aware of it.
I think they're very aware.
Aware of it.
I think there's no doubt.
There's no doubt there's Tosh on the cards.
Yeah, Steve had let us know that his dream.
We get cards as well as the gifts. She gets cards to give with the gift. I do apologise for all the Tosh on it. My goodness, I've heard some names for it in my time.
Steve's dream narrator for his life.
Oh, yes.
Is Matthew Crampton.
Okay, so Pete had expressed, which is very impressive, I have to say, Pete. Didn't know you could do that.
Who's Pete?
He's called Pete.
Steve.
No, what? Pete. We've got other listeners. I know it might surprise you.
I don't remember Pete.
Oh, I'm sorry, Pete. She doesn't remember you. She doesn't remember you.
He's not joined the group. Anyway, you
Pete
carry on.
wanted Christy Moore.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Christy Moore to narrate his life. Yes. That was the question we were asking. If you could have anybody to narrate your life story, who would it be? And Pete chose Christy Moore. We said we could try and get in touch with Christy Moore. I mean, we do know him a tiny bit. We've met him and he's been to our shows. So we could have got in touch with Christy Moore, but Steve, fortunately, has set the bar a bit lower, which sounds a bit harsh. He's chosen Matthew Crampton. Matthew Crampton, of course, good friend, podcast. I wasn't a podcast regular. He's not been on the podcast for a while, but he was the narrator and host of our live, well, weirdly, Ellie Skinner's weekly animal penis fact quiz.
You tossed me aside for to get another white man on stage. You set me aside.
Well, I thought he was yellow. I had absolutely no idea.
Well, we'll come back to that later.
Will we?
Perhaps.
Oh, more racist tropes. Is that taken on as a feature? Racist tropes, racist tropes. So,
anyway, Steve had a more achievable for us.
That's a better word.
Option of the marvellous Matthew Crampton, who is currently recovering from ankle surgery and will soon be up and about again. But he also messaged me saying, for a laugh, I asked AI to write an article about me and it's written an obituary. So I don't know if that's what he sent us, because he sent us a script for Matthew to read. I wanted it as a surprise.
So we haven't heard this yet?
We haven't heard this yet. In the instructions Steve's put, I will let Matthew add his own embellishments, as I believe he likes to do, and I can't wait to hear it in his voice. We should also point out that season 3 of the Big Muddler Matthew's Own podcast has gone out now, so you can catch that now.
I thought there had to be a reason for it. I thought you had to put that in there.
Are you ready?
Let's have a listen.
Steve was born in Lincolnshire in 1960, the son of a butcher. He remained in England's flattest county during his early life before the family moved to Felixstowe in Suffolk in 1967, which of course is mountainous and wild. At this time, the town was best known as an Edwardian seaside resort, but was also the home of the fledgling port of Felixstowe, which would prove to be very influential in Steve's life, providing a lifetime of employment in the shipping industry. However, it was not until 2014, when he helped form the legendary sea shanty crew, the Felix Stowaways, that his life really took a turn. In 2018, they won the Grammy for Best Shanty Crew and went on to tour globally, first with Beyoncé, then in the notorious All Things Suffolk Stadium tour with fellow county superstar Ed Sheeran. Aside from singing and shipping, Steve works part-time as a brain surgeon at Ipswich Hospital, and he holds the Guinness World Record for the longest continuous burp.
I think I can maybe see where Matthew has started to embellish.
Oh, so Steve didn't write that?
So Steve's gone up to the Felix Stowaways, lovely name as well.
Ah.
That
Oh,
his
well done.
life really took a turn. And then
Matthew's taken it one step
that,
further.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to say, Steve, you've been rescued there by Matthew, because it was, he really ramped up the entertainment value. I suddenly thought, oh, Steve's taking this literally. He's just presenting facts. He's not throwing any jokes in there. I was now starting to think, he's listened to the podcast. He's gone, well, I don't have to worry about making this too interesting or anything of any comedic worth. So, fair enough, Steve. And then all of a sudden, I feel like I've given with one hand and taken with the other here because, however I get through the podcast is none of your business, listeners. You can't see, it's an audio medium. I feel like we've given him the little treat there of Matthew Crampton. Now I'm slightly insulting him by saying, well, it wasn't very entertaining until Matthew got involved.
His life was boring until 2018.
I'm not saying the feeling, but I feel Matthew's really excelled himself there, Steve.
Yeah.
But I think it's something to aim for. I think what Matthew's done here, Steve, is he's given you something to aim for. So there's the Grammys.
There's
Beyonce.
There's Ed Sheeran.
I mean, there's nothing... Well, actually, Ed Sheeran is not such a difficult shout because Ed Sheeran now and again appears at the Folk East Festival in Suffolk. He's been there just hanging out at the Folk East Festival. So, potentially, Steve, there is an in. If you can get the Felixstowe shanty singers together at Suffolk, either in a booked capacity. I mean, now that you've had Matthew Crampton reading out your story, I'd get in touch with Becky and John at the Folk East Festival and say that's an endorsement. You've got the David Eagle podcast here.
They might even be listening, and so...
Becky and John might be listening to this. You never know, Steve. So doors might actually open for you.
Yeah.
So you never know. And then Ed Sheeran might overhear. So that is a potential. Beyonce, could it be? Because she's obviously had a little thing into country. She's done a country album. Is there such a departure there from going on to country, to folk music? Who knows? Also, I have remixed Beyonce with a sea shanty, which I've played at Folk East.
Yes.
So... maybe I could find a Felixstowe shanty song, Steve, and I could mix it with some Beyonce. And we can try and some Ed Sheeran, and we can try and make this happen. So doors are opening for you, Steve, despite, I would say, you not really... putting the effort in and opening them for yourself. In fairness to Steve, he did say Matthew can embellish this, but it's generally not the narrator's job, Steve. I have to say, it's generally not the narrator's job to add the furnishings. You kind of have to write that yourself normally, but absolutely fine.
The other things we've had going on in the group that you've missed out on, Helen has posted a picture of her own Le Creuset and her fake Le Creuset, which...
Interestingly, you still... No,
I still don't know.
We don't know how to pronounce it.
Okay.
Le Creuset, Le Creuset. The only thing I've never seen it written down. I've only ever heard you say it, and you used to say Le Creuset. So I've always said Le Creuset. And then you've moved it from set to say.
Okay.
So I don't know what to say.
It says Le Creuset.
Le Creuset.
Okay. Olivia is trying to start a campaign to rebuild your marble collection, and she's done a call to arms for any listeners or group members. When they see you in a gig, take a marble for you and give you a marble.
Sometimes, Olivia, I'm on tours where I'm not home for a while. I don't want...
got a lot of weight.
I've already got a lot going on. I don't need a collection of marbles, but thank you. I don't want marbles weighing me down.
Simon has put on an adjacent note, David talks about how the girl or girls involved and how he hopes they haven't gone on to a life of crime. I wonder if one of them went the other way and became a prolific detective solving crimes into old age. You could call her
Miss Marble.
Miss Marble.
I didn't wait for it. I didn't wait for it, Simon. I knew where you were going, but I like it.
Oh, yeah. So I had a recap from Facebook of activity. And
so already the group is only about 2 weeks old, but already Facebook is getting nostalgic about it.
Yeah. It's gone, here's a summary of what your new community had going on this week. 11 new members, 4 new posts, and the post of the week it chose.
So, I love that Facebook has created a bit of a feature now. I mean, Facebook's put more effort in than Steve.
And maybe a bit of competition between the members of the group as well.
Yeah, for post of the week, which is not judged by us. It's judged purely on an algorithmic basis.
So I don't know what the criteria is for them picking post of the week, but...
It's just, it's an algorithm. I like the fact that you said them. I don't think there's a team. I don't think there's like a Facebook team having a meeting. I don't think Zuckerberg
Who shall we pick?
He's on his yacht or whatever he does, and he's like, oh my God, the David Eagle podcast, I've got 25 members now, and there's a big, we're going to the champagne over here.
Yeah, but it's not, I don't think it's even picked the post with the most likes or comments.
Oh,
but
I like the fact that it's not just going for quantity.
No.
It's got, well, I say, it might not even be going for quality, to be honest. It might just be like, hello, everyone, post of the week.
Well, it's from Simon.
Oh,
and
Simon's back.
Thanks for letting me in, Ellie. Looking forward to chatting with everyone. I listened to the latest pod, and I'm still randomly chuckling when remembering random moments like David mispronouncing emojis.
There you go, Simon.
And he prefers the long ones. But maybe this is an enticement for more people to join the group.
If you think you can do as well as that, everybody, you can get most of the week. Oh, Olivia must be furious. All these email contributions. Yeah. And yet, but I think it's good in some ways, because Olivia gets a lot of attention, and quite rightly.
I mean, just this week, Mum was up and she said, I think Olivia's becoming a bit of the star of the show. I'm not sure how we feel about that.
Well, your mother's slightly concerned.
My mum's concerned that
you're being usurped.
Yeah, maybe.
By Olivia.
And also, I can now announce that as of the last 6 minutes when I invited her, Becky, director of Folk East, has joined the listeners of the David Eagle podcast, and so you can get that going, Steve.
Steve, the opportunities are coming in. Well, they're not coming in, but they're getting closer, Steve. They're getting closer. I'm going to look up
Steve that's joined.
A new Steve joined. We've got a hat trick of Steves.
Yeah.
My goodness, things are really happening here.
Yeah.
On the David Eagle podcast.
An absolutely massive scrap van's just gone by. There were 6 men in the front cab. 2 of them were hanging out of the doors. They've loaded up with loads of stuff. It's a shame we haven't got anything to give them. We could get rid of some crap that we've got in the house, but...
I've got a Felix Stowe Shanty album. Oh, Steve. Hey.
Felix Stowaways.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, I've sent bloody Beyonce the wrong link. Oh, the bloody Felix Stowe Shanty men are going to be quids in now, I'm sorry. Okay, so in our pre-podcast recording briefing, which essentially was 2 seconds of discussion before we pressed record, when Ellie said, do we finish with Olivia's email? And I said, well, I suppose it's kind of a customary thing now. It's a bit of sort of tradition. So yeah, I might as well finish with Olivia. But before that... Let's
go to Claire. Claire has caught up with the podcast.
Well done, Claire.
And is aware that you gave her a yellow card. But you've had a conversation. I think we just ignore all of that now.
Well, we don't necessarily ignore it. We just take the yellow card away.
There you go.
That's what we do.
Retract it.
Oh, my goodness. Did you feel that, Claire? Do apologise.
The mystery sound...
Sit down for a while.
The mystery sound comment was from the week before the Big Borough Bash excerpt.
Yeah, it wasn't the hula hoop.
It wasn't. So that was for...
For some reason I just wanted to sing that. I didn't think it was particularly funny, but in my head...
It's around me.
Oh, she's embellishing it. See how you do it, Steve? Hey, how was you there, Steve? I came up with something a little boring.
So, yeah, the mystery sound that Claire was referring to was actually my loom. Regarding this week and the yellow raggle-taggle gypsy, perhaps he had jaundice.
Oh, good point.
Give you a yellow...
And I like that. I like the woman suddenly... not only is she declining the Lord with his wealth and his goose feather bed and all of that, but she's also not turned off by his jaundice complexion and his lower status in terms of wealth and habitat. I kind of got a newfound admiration for that woman. Not about you, Claire. I mean the woman with the raggle-taggle gypsy. Yes. So we had an email back from Daniel Palmer. So if you remember, listeners, of course you do, you listen to this 3 or 4 times over.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, no message from Ben this week.
Oh, my God.
This is a first for a while.
What?
That Ben has not messaged. So I hope you're all right, Ben. Hope everything's okay. Daniel is the author, New York bestseller in the crime and thriller section.
Yes. He was mistaking you for an RAF tester pilot.
Yes, he mistook me for an RAF tester pilot called David Eagles. And he wrote a book...
Testing Tornado.
And he was asking me questions about it. Because he just read the book. But obviously I'm not that David Eagles. But it led to a bit of a discussion between Ellie and Daniel basically saying, you've got the wrong David Eagle here.
Yeah, pointing out that he could have a listen to the podcast.
He could have a listen to the podcast if he wanted. But then this Daniel Palmer then messaged going, because once you mentioned that I had written a book with the young'uns bound together, he then started asking me questions about my muse for the book.
Which were pretty much the same questions as he'd asked about the tester pilot.
And he was trash talking this Daniel a little bit. Turns out Daniel has listened to the podcast, but we were slightly sceptical here because of Daniel's research skills, because he'd obviously messaged someone, or intending to message someone called David Eagles, who is a fighter pilot, and instead he'd got in touch with a David Eagle, a blind folk singer and comedian with a podcast.
Yes.
I think the blind element is quite important here because I'm obviously not a fighter pilot.
No.
I mean, Trump would have you believe that, that would make me ripe for the picking with all the diversity thing. Daniel's been back in touch.
Yes, he says, "Hi Ellie, I really appreciate you taking the time to reply and for the good-humoured correction. That gave me a smile. I've actually listened to a bit of the David Eagle podcast since your note, and I can see exactly what you meant about the tone, because I'd said the nonsense we talk about."
I mean, so that is... I think he's almost trash talking us a little bit there.
He is.
That's a very polite way of saying, yeah, you are talking a lot of nonsense.
Yeah, it is a load of bollocks, isn't it? There's something very human and unforced about it that makes it easy to stay with. So I then replied, because actually we talked about him on the podcast, but we hadn't emailed back. We've now established a listeners' Facebook group, and so I'm going to suggest a book group. If we were to read one of your books, which do you think we should start with? And if you'd like to come on the podcast for a direct chat with David, you're more than welcome to. What I'm concerned about is in his reply, which was very soon, is he may have used AI and forgotten to edit it.
Oh, Daniel, you've been rumbled. Oh, I feel like we've got a very interesting relationship with Daniel because we're very cordial on the surface, with our email exchanges. But then we're kind of having a little bit of poking Daniel a little bit there and then trash talking him a little bit. And then he is making little passive aggressive comments and a little sarcastic. So what you mean by the nonsense? So it's an interesting relationship we've got going on here.
Okay, but... For your book group, I'd suggest starting with square brackets, in italics, insert your strongest title, close brackets. It's one that probably reflects my writing most clearly, character-driven, psychological and focused on tension beneath the surface. I think it would give your readers a solid sense of the kind of stories I tend to explore. And yes, I'd be very happy to join you on the podcast with David. I think there's a really interesting conversation there about how completely different creative worlds still end up circling the same core issues: pressure, performance, and how people turn lived experience into a story. I think that could make for a really natural and engaging discussion. Let me know what dates you're thinking about it, and I'll try to fit it in. I mean, he might change his mind if he's listening to a podcast. But I do think, is he real?
Oh, my goodness.
Do you think
Daniel Palmer might not really be real? It's some sort of AI scam. But why? What's in it for Daniel Palmer?
According to Google Books, he's the author of numerous critically acclaimed suspense novels, including The New Husband, Saving Megan and The Perfect Daughter, none of which are insert your strongest title here, which I did think could be a meta title of a book. That could have been a title,
couldn't it?
What if this is not even his real email address? What if this is a bot or a scammer?
It could be a very elaborate spammer time.
Yeah.
It could be Steve.
Because it did...
flexing his creative muscles once again. He's clearly used AI there.
Yeah.
He's clearly used AI. Did he say to the AI, let's say he's trying to do a real one, he's like, I want to do a thing here, I want to suggest, but then you would think he'd say, I want to suggest this book. And for this reason, because he said, insert your strongest title here.
Yeah.
And then it said, because, and it's given reasons. I think it's like a brilliant juxtaposition of tension and suspense and all of this kind of thing. But he doesn't know that that's what it is. How does he know that it's a juxtaposition of suspense or tension and all of this thing that he's written? He's written a qualifying sentence as to why he suggested that, but he's not actually suggested a book. So if you see what I mean? So it gets me wondering, has he actually written any of this? And so has he actually said he wants to be on the podcast, or is that just an auto-generated response? But then insert your strongest title here is like such a rookie error.
Yeah.
If you're using AI. And also, why couldn't the AI is given a reason why it suggested this book. But then the reason for suggesting that book, it can't be a valid reason if you haven't actually suggested a book.
Yeah, unless all of them
all of them do. But then you just say, well, to be honest, just
pick
anyone.
any of them, yeah.
Because they're all
I'm just-
brilliant.
I'm just glad for you picking one of my books to read and sharing it with a wider audience of at least 25.
Would you like Matthew Crampton to read this? Would you like any embellishment doing to your story, Daniel? I find that absolutely incredible, but it does make me wonder if he's using AI for his emails. Is he using AI for his books as well?
Who knows? But when I was working in advice for students, people are starting to write their essays for uni with AI and then just completely missing bits that make no sense because they don't bother reading it before they submit it.
I think it's the way that the chatty way in which it responds after it's got something wrong.
Yeah.
Like the other day, I was trying to work out how to do some audio thing, and it said, "Oh yeah, you have to go into the settings here, and you have to go into this," and it was wrong basically what it said. I kind of read between the lines and found the bit that it was on about, and I thought there's got to be an easier way to do this. I said, this is crazy. I said, this is the kind of setting that you just want to change every couple of minutes or something. It was literally just like the kind of thing that you would just toggle off and on in a record menu or something like that. And it said, well, I suppose you could set up a hotkey and you could do all this, and that was a sort of quite elaborate. And I just thought, and in fairness, maybe I should have, rather than just asking Gemini, I should have just gone into the menus and had a look myself. It would have probably saved me time.
Yeah.
I just thought I was going to go into the record menu and just see. And sure enough, one of the options was toggling on, off and on, the exact thing that I was saying it should be a top. But then it's weird because now I've got this relationship with the thing, whereas I feel like I could just close the window down.
Yeah.
But I almost feel I have to tell the AI that it's wrong. And this is where it gets problematic because it's now resources. The resources it's using by me just saying, oh, you could do this. And so I also find myself doing it in a very odd way because I went, I could do this. And I explain, just go into the record menu and toggle on the setting that literally says so and so. And then I put a smiley face emoji because I didn't want it to feel like I was just going, well, you're a bit stupid. But I wanted to kind of go, you see how ridiculous. And because I put a smiley face, it must have read something into that. And it responded by going, oh, touche. But yes, you're quite right. You can indeed just go into that menu. But then it kind of goes, now you've got that bit sorted. If you're ever having any other problems with takes and tracking and things like that, just feel free to let me know and I'll help.
But
and I'm
you didn't help
me the
one.
first time. And it's really odd because this is my concern. It's like I want the technology to get better. I want it to be more substantive. I want the quality to get better. I don't
that it uses less resources as well.
Uses less resources. I don't necessarily want it to spend the time coming up with little, touche, little sarcastic rejoinders because in the workplace, if you had that, you got it completely wrong.
Yeah.
It's like, what is my relationship with you, AI? Am I your boss? Well, I'm kind of not because if I was your boss and I asked you to do a question, you got it completely wrong, and I said, well, you've got that completely wrong and you could do this, I suppose if I came in with a bit of a smile on my face, but if the employer went, oh, touche, it's like a bit, you'd be a bit more contrite. Even if your boss was smiling, you'd go, oh, really sorry, I missed that. Of course, that's how you do it. But it's just the, oh, touche. Like, it's a machine.
You got so carried away and animated with that, you spat in my face a little bit.
And she didn't dislike it.
It's a new
little thing we got going on. We're going to have to leave it here, I'm afraid, Olivia. Oh, touche. To spray. Anyway, so that's
that.
Yeah. So Daniel, I think we're going to keep going. Let's invite him on.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Let's find out if he's a real person.
Well, I was going to say, do we put a poll in the group of whether or not we think he's real or not, and if we should invite him on the podcast?
I think we just do it. I just think we get him on.
Great.
So do we need to think of some dates?
We'll do that when we're not recording.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't suggesting we're checking our calendars. I don't want you seeing my calendar.
No.
I don't want you finding out I'm having an affair with Olivia. Talking of which...
No, we're on to Steve now.
Oh, Steve, sorry. Oh, yes. Steve's back.
Okay. Hi, David and Ellie. Rechecking on the missing Mac. This is completely understandable. When leaving the house, I always lock the back door, but then the wife asks me if I've locked the door, and it puts a seed of doubt in my mind, and I have to go and check, even though I know perfectly well that I've locked it.
Oh, Steve,
now, you do this with me.
I have this many a time, and there's also a situation where if we're going on holiday or something, or there's or I'm away on tour and we're both away, I will immediately assume that we've left the gas on. in the oven. I mean, I think this is probably a good thing of like everything being hooked up to smart devices potentially.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say that, which is it isn't in our situation. We don't have everything hooked up to smart devices. But then having said that, then I suppose it's ripe for hacking. If you've got your smart device where you can just turn the gas on, I mean, that's asking for trouble, isn't it?
Yeah, because what if you just knocked it in your pocket or something?
Oh my goodness. Well, that's a thing. I wasn't thinking of that.
If you dialed the gas on.
Because talking of that, we went through, that you can do that photo album that it does. So it creates a little video of all your photo montages. Yeah. I don't really take photos on my phone, but it turns out I do take photos. But they're generally all either photos taken somehow of me from the perspective of my pocket.
Yeah. There's quite a few pocket shots.
Accidentally put cameraing.
There's sometimes,
if you'd like to see that, people.
There's sometimes some screenshots of just your lock screen because you're obviously trying to unlock it.
Sometimes there's pictures of me just looking confused. Presumably because I'm trying to do something and nothing's happening, and that's because the camera's on facing you. And it's facing me, so you just get lots of pictures of me looking confused.
So it's just like the top half of your nose and one of your eyes going, what the bloody hell's going on here? So we did go through the other day deleting some of them.
I did think what we should have done is we should have actually kept them, and we could have done like a slideshow. Yeah. Just all the random photos that we've
I haven't deleted them from the recently deleted, so I can rescue those, and maybe that's a little treat for people.
Little sliding if you join the Facebook group.
Great news about the wind filter. Ironically, this was the week I didn't listen on my promenade walk, but listened at home. Obviously a wind-free location. That's not obvious, Steve.
No, we don't know where you live.
No, and also, yeah, exactly. Very impressed by David's guitar impersonation on November Rain. It was like Slash was in the room. Two laughy cry emojis.
If you've got any other little guitar solos you'd like me to give a go, I will gladly. It's the sound of the kettle. Now, I know you might be thinking, okay, so you're just going to have a tea and have a bit of a chat. That's what you've done the other times. We're almost getting the feeling, David, that you've retired Herbal Tea of the Week. Oh, is that the feeling you're getting, is it? Well, have a load of this, my friends.
Some folks like plain tea, others like tea herbally, but this is the feature that reviews herbal tea verbally. We'll give it a smell, we'll give it a drink, and then we will tell you what we think. Tea is the subject on which we will speak in our exciting feature, Herbal Tea of the Week.
Yes, it's the return of Herbal Tea of the Week, not necessarily as a weekly feature, even though it is called Of the Week. We must stop putting Of the Week on our feature titles because we very rarely do these things weekly, even when we release a weekly podcast. But yes, the reason we're bringing it back is it's because it has been requested by a listener, and we only have 25 of you, so, we've got to adhere
26 now since the last record.
My goodness. So, once we get to 30, we're going to ignore your requests. Yeah. We're too big. We're too much of an enterprise. But right now, being a little boutique podcast, we can afford to take heed of your requests. Can you remember the person's name, Ellie?
I think it was Neil, but when we're back near my phone,
we'll have a look.
We'll check.
The kettle is boiled. So we know that it's from 100 degrees Celsius. So listeners, that can narrow it down for you now if you want to start guessing your tea. I'm also going to give you another little clue. It is post 9 p.m. So that means, of course, listeners, come on, what does it mean? It means it will not be a caffeinated tea. I'm sure we've discussed that on the podcast before.
No, because you go off your tits on caffeine. But this one hasn't even been opened before.
Oh.
I've just ripped the top off.
My goodness!
And then and
you thought I'd gone off my tits. Well, not if you're doing that, Ellie.
So it's called.
I don't think this is quite what Neil wanted.
It's one that we brought back from Morocco.
Okay.
From Marrakesh. It's Argany Royal Tea, mix of dried flowers and herbs. And I think we bought this when we were at the
Berber place.
The Berber place.
Right.
So it says use 1 teaspoon.
That's what they have in Morocco. That's Berber. She's speaking Berber there.
Really tired. Use 1 teaspoon of herbs for each cup of boiling water, or add a pinch to your green tea.
Well, it says boiling water. The water has boiled, so we must make sure we do that now. Otherwise, we're already shirking. And Neil, if it is indeed Neil, will not be happy. He'll be like, hang on a minute.
Word.
Oh, my words, she says. I think that's because she's just opened the bag and she's caught a whiff of it. But is that a oh my word in a positive sense or a negative sense? Well, of course, we will find out a little bit later.
17 ingredients.
My goodness.
So, have a sniff.
I think replete is certainly the word here. My goodness. Yeah, that replete indeed. We're sniffing the bag here. Oh my goodness, that's very strong.
Are you ready for the list?
Do you want to give us a list of ingredients?
We've got cloves, star anise, mint, lavender, cardamom, anise, Damascus rose, pomegranate flower, patchouli flower, caraway seeds, oregano, thyme, chamomile, Sufi camoon, I don't know what that is, fennel seeds, mace, and galangal root.
Oh my goodness. But there is a bit of galangal action, listeners. It's been a while since we had that. You used to use quite a bit of galangal in your cooking, Ellie. I've not heard you refer to the galangal for a while.
Often, but I have done, yeah. I don't think we've got any at the moment.
So if you are thinking, listeners, of a little gift for us to show your thanks, then a bit of galangal action wouldn't go amiss. Thank you very much. I'm interested to know what the subtitles are going to make of this. Describe then, Ellie, the visuals. What kind of a colour are we dealing with?
Let's get
Black, white, yellow.
So the bit that I'm brewing at the moment has 1 big rose in it. So there's a little bit of pink. There's the chamomile buds, there's the cardamom, there's a star anise in there. So it's a sort of yellow.
What is yellow?
But there's a little bit of a pinkiness, presumably from the hibiscus and the rose. I can't give you a hint for the smell because that's not how we do the podcast.
So is it time for the smell then?
I think, yeah.
So just to remind you listeners, well, it said in the jingle, we give it a smell, we give it a drink, and then we will tell you what we think. Actually, that's not quite true. We'll give you the smell, then we'll tell you what we think, then we'll give it a drink, then we'll tell you what we think. But that would have been a bit weird for the jingle.
I don't have to write the marks down, do I? Because my phone's in the other room.
I think that's fine. I mean,
it's only 1 tea.
It's been documented on the podcasts. There we go, Neil. Quite funny if it wasn't Neil. Poor Albert's thinking, what a...
Okay, so it's a sort of light browny orange. It's as if you would have brewed a regular tea for about 35 seconds and then taken it out.
Really?
Yeah. Okay, are you ready to give it a sniff?
I'm ready to give it a sniff. I'll blow my nose. Neil will be livid if I didn't prepare myself. Okay, Neil. I'm going in. Wow. Ooh.
It's very woody.
Oh, I like it.
Okay.
And he's not sure, I don't think.
I really do not like the smell of this, and I am not looking forward to the taste.
Okay, I'm just going to give it another smell.
It's
Because this is what I'm feeling.
It's very woody and herby in the background. It's probably the oregano.
1, 2, 3, 9.
5.
I'm going for a 9. I love that smell.
There's a mixture of the sort of florals, of the chamomile and the rose. But it's whatever that...
Oh, I don't know. Why am I enjoying that so much?
Is it that... Oh.
We're both doing it from different angles. The thing that's probably turning Ellie off may be turning me on. And that's happened before.
I think it's the anise.
Okay, Ellie's just giving it a taste. And she did a little noise.
Well, it's very hot. So I'm going to put a little bit of cold water in mine.
I'm going to try mine.
Zip it better.
Not sure how I feel about Ellie adding cold water. I don't know about you, Neil. I think that's a little because she's now diluted it, which is not what I'm doing, Neil. Do apologise.
Hardcore.
Okay, I'm tasting again.
That tastes better than it smells to me. It's quite fresh, but also that woody undertone is still there.
I'll be interested to know what that's like once it's cooled down a little, but that's...
You could try mine if you want.
Well, try a bit of yours then, Neil. Not you, Neil, Ellie. Oh. Okay. All right. Are we ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 6.
8.
Oh,
Oh,
my goodness.
okay.
Yeah.
What's put you off the taste compared to the smell, or do you think
It's
you went
leaving
too high?
me. Well, at first, it was a bit weaker than I thought, the taste. It didn't sort of live up to the promise of all the things that it was advertising. But then it's left a bit of a dryness at the back of my throat. It's one of those
Okay.
ones. You know, I've
Yeah.
mentioned that before on
You've
the
had that
podcast.
before. It's got layers to the flavour. But again, I think it's the oregano coming through that's quite...
I
quite
don't
strong.
dislike it, but it's an odd thing. It's not like certainly not like a sweet tea.
No, it's almost
It's
savoury,
almost
isn't it?
savoury there.
Yeah.
Well, okay. What we didn't do is we didn't tot up the scores. So let's do that now then, Ellie. For
So
smell,
for smell, I gave it a 5, you gave
I gave
it
it
a
a
9.
That
so
gives us
that's
a grand
14.
total of 14.
And then taste, I gave it an 8.
And I gave it a 6, which
That's another
brings us
14.
to 16. What? 16, Ellie.
Oh, yeah. Hang on, 8 and 6 is 14.
Oh yes, of course it is. Of
Yeah,
course
so
it
I
is.
was right.
Yes, yes. How did I miss that? I don't know what happened in my head there. I can't do 8 plus 6. I don't know whether this is the time to tell you. I've just been accepted to do 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown. I haven't, by the way, listeners. If we can get to 30 listeners, maybe I'll get
have
them.
enough sway.
I'll give them a call. John Richardson lives pretty close to where we are.
Nearby.
There's a mintiness which you get on the inhale. With that first taste, the first thing is, oh, this is a minty tea. And then it's like, oh, no, it isn't. There's a whole host of other stuff going on. So the mint sort of introduces itself and introduces the tea. And then it kind of immediately is either, depends how you want to look at it, it either takes a step back and lets the others in, or the other spices sort of push
their
forward.
way through. Very interesting just looking at the pack. We've got quite a lot, so I don't know what's going to happen with the rest of this if we'll finish it one day.
That's
Maybe
really interesting because I'm liking it the more I drink. You liking it the less you drink.
I don't mind it, I'm just not.
So maybe,
rush
and either
out.
way, because I might rise to a 7, you might take it down to a 7. So either way, I think 14 is probably about right. I mean, interesting you see you're not...
Bit of stone in this pack, I think.
Oh,
It's like a...
all right, okay. I mean, in fairness, we did get this from the Berber place. There's no kind of like trading standards or anything here. Not that I'm casting aspersions on the Berber people, but this was...
Maybe it's a bit of
essentially, maybe the galangal, I don't know, but this was essentially not made under sort of quality. What? Oh, that's a bit. Is that stone?
It's sticky.
I don't know what that is. It's
Really?
hard. It's
Yeah.
hard and sticky, listeners.
A bit like a sort of sugar crystal, but it's orangey red. Maybe I'll take a picture
Take a
of that. and put
picture
it
of
on.
that. My goodness.
I mean, I'm concerned it might just be broken glass in our tea.
Glass. You think it might be glass?
It might be some sort of...
Ellie is studying it now.
Well, I found some other bits.
Oh my goodness, there's all sorts of detritus in this thing. Goodness knows what we're drinking. We've got a total score of 28, despite the detritus. Maybe that explains the dryness at the back of my throat now, is because I'm eating shards of glass. You see, I think a lot of people would have gone, okay, we see why you've not continued with the feature, David, because it is a bit tame, to be honest. And then all of a sudden, unexpected drama. I've just picked the tea up again and had another drink.
There's a lot of pieces, so maybe this is
So it seems
intentional.
deliberate, but I suppose that's one thing you could do. If you just had any old detritus, you just go, well, if you put more of it in, people will just assume it's deliberate. Meanwhile, I am still drinking it. I'm enjoying this more, actually, now.
That's despite having potential...
Well, yeah, because as it cools, it gets nicer. Honestly, I would highly recommend it, listeners. Shards of glass in your tea. Really.
I mean, I'm finding lots of bits, so I think maybe it is one of the ingredients. Maybe it's the one that I don't know what it is.
One thing I was thinking, Ali, is we could do a communal herbal tea of the week.
Right.
So if we all decide on a tea that we want to try,
Yep.
and we buy the tea,
Yep.
and we all taste it together.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily have to be live. People can send their comments in.
I think it's...
Huh?
I think it might be glass.
Wow. Ellie's just Googled all the different ingredients.
It doesn't look like any
Wow.
of those
Why would there
things.
be? How would they get glass in it?
Okay, so do I do an AI assessment of the picture, maybe?
You want to see what AI makes of this?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna Daniel Palmer it.
The image resembles raw gum arabic,
Oh.
a natural resin derived from the hardened sap of acacia trees. So that would make sense because it is sticky. These translucent amber-coloured crystals are commonly used as stabilisers in foods, candies and drinks, and also in cosmetics, adhesives and traditional medicine. It is edible and water-soluble.
All right. Shall I try a bit then?
Um,
I'm going to put some in my mouth.
I don't know that that's a great
I'll give it a
idea.
tiny... Oh, Ellie
I just did.
What happened?
It broke apart a bit.
Does it have the texture of glass?
No, I don't think so. Do you want to try a bit?
I'm going to try a bit now, listeners. Bloody hell, that's hard. Nah, it's not glass.
Okay.
That's quite nice.
So it's probably gum arabic, but they just haven't put...
That is very sticky. Oh, I don't know if that's coated my teeth. Oh, my God. It stuck to my tooth.
Well, at least it's not glass.
Well, have a little think about the Herbal Tea of the Week communal drink-along.
Yeah, if anybody's got suggestions, send them in to us.
Yeah.
If there's a tea brand that we haven't tried that you know of that's really good near you.
Because if there is like a local tea shop, then we can start getting to a thing where we're almost like pitting different regions against each other. My goodness, there's so much potential drama still to come on Herbal Tea of the Week. And, of course, on the David Eagle podcast.
Herbal Tea of the Week.
Olivia, Olivia,
I've had that going on in my head all week. All week. No, it's been going on in my head all week. The Olivia the Pig thing. I just can't get it out. Walking around the house going, Olivia, Olivia, Olivia.
Maybe that's why Mum was concerned.
Yeah,
She
that's
heard
probably
you singing
why.
that. Hi, David and Ellie. Another great podcast. Thanks, Olivia.
Thank you, Olivia.
I love the idea of you playing games at the train station. I was eating breakfast and literally spat my coffee when you said that the train coming in, either you or the other team being hit by the train, and it was also innocent up to that point, and I wasn't expecting such a dark turn. 2 laughy, cry, rolly emojis.
There was a weird thing with the edit on that. I think I accidentally hit some button on the Mac, and all of a sudden that started speeding up. I don't know if you noticed that, Olivia, on either of your listens, but it suddenly just started speeding up. I was mentioning this to Ellie's mum, and she said, I just thought you were getting excited. So I don't know how it sounded to you, but...
So, more on Matty Groves.
Moron! It's a strident opinion there from Olivia.
I dived down a very deep rabbit hole after the podcast this week. It turns out that both Matty and Lord Donald have lots of different names depending on the version of the story and the different places in history. According to Wikipedia, Matty in
I
different...
like the fact that she says she did a big
Deep
dive, big research project. She goes, according to Wikipedia...
She's a busy lady.
That's absolutely fine. She's not listened to the podcast 3 times.
I know. According to Wikipedia, Matty in different versions is also known as Little Sir Grove, Little Massgrove, Matthew Groves, Wee Messgrove, Little Musgrave, Young Musgrave, Little Mushy Grove, and then she's put fabulous laughy emoji.
Does he? I suppose beg the question why he's got different names. You know, he's had to reinvent himself so many times because of all his affairs.
Lord Donald is also known by even more names, including
goodness.
Aaron, Arlen, Arnold, Barlibas, that's a good name, Barnabas, Barnaby, Bernard, Barnett, Benwill, Darlin, Darnell and Donald. So I do not feel there's a right or wrong when saying his name, as ultimately no one really knows what it was. It's hard to be pedantic when there are too many variables. Yes.
What a great phrase. Get that on a T-shirt, Olivia.
I can't believe you sold your marble collection for 50p. Even if you did acquire most of them illicitly and for free, you were still mugged. I think we should start a new marble collection. And we've covered that.
Unless we could you could look after them for me, Olivia. You know, like I give you them on loan. How could that possibly cause any controversy? Someone loaning out taking somebody else's the marbles and putting them in a different location to where they maybe should be. You could keep them up for me. I can just come and visit them now and again, Olivia, on one of my little journeys, one of my little...
Having listened to the podcast at 5 a.m. again this week, I then had Olivia the Pig going round in my head for the following 15 hours. So this one, I think you only uploaded it at like 2 a.m. So
did.
she was very quick on the draw.
I uploaded it at 2 o'clock in the morning and I was still listening to it until it finished about 3:20 or something. So I essentially went to bed and then Olivia
Took over.
took up. Well, there we are.
It was like a podcast.
So I'm going to see
relay.
here, Mother.
Finally. I really love...
Finally.
Yeah.
That's weird the way she sings that.
Finally.
Is that CC Peniston?
Yeah.
But it's weird the way she says finally.
Because she does, Finally.
Examples of syllabic, how would you describe it?
Weirdness.
Syllabic weirdness. So it's melisma, isn't it? That's the sound when you take what's meant to be one syllable and you stretch it. For instance, and he shall reign forever, or Gloria. But other examples, listeners, of your syllabic eccentricities.
Finally, I really love my job in the nursery, and it's fun and rewarding playing with the children all day, up to my elbows in sand and Play-Doh, and coming home looking like I've had a better time than the kids. Occasionally, though, a day can get really tough, and this week I had some very challenging days involving some super tired 3 and 4-year-olds who were not playing ball, both literally and figuratively. Accidents of various severity in both the playground and the toilets, an awkward conversation with a colleague, difficult parental discussions, and for reasons that I will leave to your imagination, but that could only happen in the nursery, a robin's egg exploding yolk all over my hand. I got home and my husband said, "So how was your day?" And I replied, and then she's put a link, and I haven't checked this link.
Ooh.
So...
Ah! Very clever, Olivia. Very clever. Yes, so for those people who don't know, that was from a couple of weeks ago when I was talking about a weird sound effects compilation CD. It was called Everyday Sound Effects, and all the sound effects essentially seem to be rather dark, dystopic ones. How's she done that? Is it on for YouTube? Is she done like a timestamp?
It's on pocketcasts.com.
Wow,
So
well done, Olivia.
She's done a little snippet, and then there's an option to play the full episode.
That is incredible. I mean, it's probably not. It's probably quite an easy thing to do. But,
But you
with my
know
problem,
about it.
with my issues with computers at the moment, Olivia, I'm just amazed that you've managed to send an email. Absolutely incredible stuff. I feel like I've taken quite a few backward
But
steps.
also, she's kind of folded the podcast back in on itself by linking back to...
She's done the
Pop
audio
and gospel.
equivalent of a meme.
Yes. Which
Absolutely
is really good for you.
brilliant. Oh, I hope this has been all right for you listeners.
Next week, maybe we'll do a bit more of your Braille writing.
Oh, goodness, there's so much to do. Yeah, so next week, I've got all the boxes
Yeah,
with
Mum
all
was
the
like,
books
"What
in.
are those boxes?" And I said, "Oh, it's David's Braille book." She said, "Bloody hell, it's going to take a while to go through them, isn't it?"
We've got absolutely loads, so we need to get through those.
Yeah.
Maybe we can enlist the services of Matthew Crampton. Maybe we take... I think there's some childhood stories in there that I wrote as a child. Well,
It would be perfect as a Matthew voiceover.
Well, I was thinking they'd be perfect maybe as a listener-based drama.
Oh, what?
We sent the parts out. We were talking about this with the Christmas Panto.
Yes.
We're going to take a delve into the books that I wrote when I was a child. We're going to try getting in touch with Daniel Palmer and finding out if he is the real Daniel Palmer. What's going on with the whole AI situation there, Daniel? And we'll chat to him.
Oh, also, Steve's pointed out, this is in the group.
Oh, my goodness. If you want to see that photo, listeners, then get yourself on the Facebook group. Facebook members only, indeed.
A lot of the podcast places say that this podcast is updated fortnightly.
Really?
And Steve has done a post going, "No!" I've spotted this, but I was just ignoring it because I thought, well, actually, people get a bonus episode every fortnight this way.
Hey, when you said bonus episode, I misheard there. I thought, oh, is that what we're calling this thing that Steve's been doing? Oh, that's my private car to take me away. Bye.
Bye.